us to talk about his latest project and what's coming up in the new year. Tushar, finally we have you in studio talking to us.
Thank you, Mohit, first of all, for inviting me on Bollywood Blvd, the much talked about show.
Okay, good. We got the formalities out of the way. Listen, it's been a really exciting time for you.
Yeah.
On the heels of completing the film, or no, the film being released, Vanilla.
That's correct.
If I pronounced it correctly.
Vanilla.
Yes. South Indian, apparently a masterpiece of some sorts. You worked with some great artists. Tell our audience a little bit about this film.
Vanilla is a film by a first-time director, Devakatta Kaushik. It's a romantic comedy shot in Detroit with a very exciting cast and crew. The cinematographer has got years of experience working with India's #1 cinematographer, none other than Ravi K. Chandran, the backbone of Black, Yuva, Paheli,
wow.
Dil Chahta Hai. So we had tremendous expertise from the cinematographic point of view. We had choreographer Raju Sundaram, who is not only the elder brother of Prabhu Deva, but also known as the #1 choreographer of South of India. So this was in fact one of my first Telugu film, obviously the language that I don't speak, and it was quite an experience working with a language unknown. But the first film which had singing, dancing, spice, and the whole 9 yards of the Indian cinema. So while being on the set, obviously, we had a lot of new experiences, unlike the independent cinema that I've been working so far.
So actually, you mentioned the independent cinema, which we will get to, but South Indian cinema is very popular. And so tell us a little bit about what it's like working with this team and sort of the respect that they have, you know, in India.
The team, the cinematographer came with his own lighting and the camera team from India, and they were extremely dedicated, very quiet and focused on what they're doing. Very simple, yet very clear of what exactly they want, very ambitious and very well educated with the quality of Indian cinema, which obviously we don't get to see much often on the independent cinema sets.
Now, independent Indian cinema, we've seen grow in great regards. And you've had the ability to work with some up-and-comers who are now making some great projects.
Absolutely.
For our audience who aren't familiar with some of your work as an art director, tell us about some of the projects you've worked on recently.
The Pastry, which was premiered yesterday in Toronto, is by Mohit Sen. I worked as an art director on that film as well. Besides that, I worked on Indian Fish in American Waters,
which was Manish Gupta's
film. I did Flavors with Raj and DK, directors. Flavors did great in international film circuit. It went to more than a dozen international film festivals, won several awards. It was theatrically released in India, US, and Canada, which is again a great success level because not many independent films get to see the light of theatrical release. Similarly, Vanilla, which is now theatrically released in India and in US, and obviously it is expected in Canada very soon.
So now Manish Gupta, we should say also, after doing Indian Fish in American Waters, is making a film with Robert De Niro's daughter.
That's correct.
So you've worked with some people who are making some great projects, is what I was alluding to before. So congratulations on some of those.
Thank you.
One of the ways that some people might know you also is through a user group of yours. And when I say user group, I mean sort of this internet community system that you run. It's called Nouveau Idea.
That's correct.
And you help spread the word on people, on everything from people looking for work in the business to people doing exciting projects. How did you start this, and what is the catalyst behind this?
I used to work with an advertising agency in New York as a creative director for a long time. And I used to have access to a lot of information. At the same time, I used to have an access to a lot of aspiring talent who were struggling to get information. And they would say, Tushar, could you please tell us if there's a casting opportunity? Could you please tell us if there's a film opportunity? And instead of getting to go and tell one-on-one to everybody, I thought it's a good idea to kind of just announce it in one way so that they can hear about it. And it's one way to encourage the South Asian talent, which is deprived from this access of, reaching out to the media. So that's the first time the thought came to my mind.
And also this acts like you're a freelancer yourself, and this business isn't really about permanent jobs, it's about freelance work.
That's correct.
So you network with a lot of freelancers this way, which is really good, and congratulations on that effort.
Thank you.
So what are you looking forward to doing? I know you were telling me that you have some projects, you're going back to Detroit now, and you're working on some other projects. Why don't you tell us about some of that?
I started working on this another feature called Offshore. It's about the outsourcing industry, which is happening these days, America bonding with India. It's focused on that with an American director, Diane Cheklik, and starring Satish Shah. Everybody knows Satish Shah. He's been around for more than a couple of decades, with Malika Shenoy. And yeah, it's a finishing phase now, so I have to go back this weekend to do last couple of weeks' work.
Okay. And of course, what are you telling people when they are asking you, Tushar, I would like to get into art directing, etc. What's the single biggest challenge in working as an art director in this industry?
Single biggest challenge, first of all, is that when you talk to independent filmmakers that I would work as an art director, they would come back with saying, sorry, who? We don't have a budget for that.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a big challenge, to educate people, first of all, what an art director could make a difference to the product itself. And second of all, to find that finances to survive through the year and to develop a career. So that's one big challenge.
Well, you've been developing an exciting career, and we hope that you continue to come back and let us know about what's going on. And congratulations on the recent releases. Tushar, thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Mohit.
There's much more on Bollywood Boulevard coming up with Geetika, so please stay tuned.